So this video is about happiness, and I'm not talking about contentment where you are learning your whole being and accepting where you are and you're content with the outcomes. That's a whole other process of being in this place within yourself and knowing yourself to a point where no matter the outcome, you're okay, you're content. You have this internal joy, and that's a lot different than happiness, and that's a whole other video. When I talk about happiness, I'm talking about that feeling that you get when you you finish a project, or you are able to do something you haven't done in a long time, or you are in a new relationship, or you are happy in your old relationship. You're finding your happiness with this other person, or with it can be anything. You got a puppy, you got whatever, you're happy. And for people with mental health struggles, like anxiety, depression, CPTSD, PTSD, all of these things, and with people with chronic illness and everything that goes along with that, which is a lot of the same sort of mental health issues, being happy is actually a scary thing. You want to revel in that moment and be happy and enjoy it, but in reality, you are looking forward to it and you're making plans, and then when it comes, it's like, if it's an event or something, it's like you don't even remember it. And that's a lot with CPTSD. You just dissociate through the whole event. And for me, one of those events was my wedding. Like I don't remember it at all. But I have a lot of that kind of stuff going on. But that's a really common thing. And so, you want to be happy and you're looking forward to these things and you're happy in these moments of time, but there's always something in the back of your mind that's like, when is this gonna end? When is this going to become what I'm used to, which is it becoming something scary or uncomfortable, or something that causes anxiety or depression, or a trigger? When is it going to be its own trauma? So when you think that happiness is this short-term thing that leads to a traumatic experience, which causes anxiety and fear about it. So it's hard to be in the moment, and it's hard to be happy. And a lot of times, because of that, we kind of self-destruct, self-destruct, will cause someone to run away from us because we're anxious about it, or because we're not able to be in the moment, or whatever that situation is. And that is kind of the definition of anxiety. It's not living in the moment. You're living in the future, and you're living in the past. And that's also depression. You're living in the past and you're afraid of the future. And so it's all of these things where you dissociate from that present moment, because that moment isn't something that's comfortable for you. It's not what you know. It's not how you're wired. It's not, your brain is like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling all these awesome feelings. What is going to happen now? Like, this is gonna end. I better not get too attached because something is gonna happen. And that is a real thing that a lot of people deal with all these things that I've talked about. And also, it's a really sad way to not be able to enjoy life and present moments. And I mean, I'm definitely guilty of this. Like, I'm terrified of being happy because that means that something bad is going to happen. This happiness is brief, it's fleeting, it's it's not going to lead to contentment. It's not going to lead to something comfortable. It feels uncomfortable. And the things that I've done to really work on this are to do breathing exercises when I start to get out of those moments. Like, I am, on a camping trip, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a wonderful experience. Everything's beautiful. Everything's going great. It's going to end soon, So I will take a step back, and then maybe if I'm by water, just sit and watch the water, or like just my fingers or my feet in it and just feel the water. Like, be present with that ground. Take off your shoes, build a little rock stack, or deep breaths. Find something to focus on. Do your find 5 things around you, colors or whatever, and just bring yourself into that moment, bring yourself into that feeling of happiness, and let yourself know that it's okay to feel it, and it's safe to feel it, and it's normal to be scared of the future and everything that it holds. But we don't need to put that out into the universe. We don't need to put those thoughts out there. We don't need to make that our reality. We just need to be present. And what happens, happens. And there is where contentment comes in.